Yen Press really came out this Friday. They said, hey, we got a Christmas gift for you. And yes, for the Shoujo girlies, yes, they did. I got a license win. Hello friends, happy Monday. So very excited that you're here. So excited to be filming this video. I'm not going to be focusing on any new anime stuff. I know there was one when I was going through my bookmarks that I realized I missed sharing about. We have two new PVs, I believe, but I just want to focus on manga because there was just so much exciting stuff that came out. So we'll go ahead and jump right in. I know that, usually with Magical Girl Downline, we talk about that first, but there was a new Glasses chapter. Absolutely loved it. It was chapter 41 and it was all about Ichiguro. And I really love the new arc that we are getting into and just seeing our leads get to know one another. Well, it's really more of Momo learning more about Ichiguro, and I just really appreciate it. I loved it. It was so much fun. It made my heart feel better. I felt revived after I read it, but I almost forgot. I guess before we go into some other manga news stuff, if you haven't already voted for your favorite shoujosei debut of 2025, as well as manhwa and light novels, I'll leave the link down below. We are almost to 100 votes. Thank you guys so much for voting. I would love to make it before the event ends, and we're still going strong. If you would like to see what's all coming, what's already happened, be sure to check out that video in the corner because we still have plenty more days to come and I'm very excited. But let's go ahead and rewind because, oh my goodness, I think it was last Saturday night. I know it was after I filmed last week's manga news video, right? Kodansha comes out and says, no, they didn't say, but we found the listing for Love That's an Understatement Volume 3 online. And oh my goodness, that Sunday night, I believe I ordered as soon as it was available on Amazon. Unfortunately, I don't have my copy yet, even though Kodansha has said it is officially up for ordering. I know two different friends that have ordered from Barnes & Nobles. They've already had their copy shipped, and one of them, Lady Yoza, actually already got hers. And I'm going to leave her pictures here because I think a very important thing that she said that was very critical for volumes 1 and 2 was the print quality, where volume 1 was really great and then volume 2 was not so great. She said that the print quality is the same as volume 1, and I thought that was a very big thing. I was like, man, as soon as I saw her tweet, I'm like, we are bookmarking it, we are sharing it because I want this series to do well. I deeply loved it. I sort of briefly mentioned it in my last week's high school romance holiday gift guide. I did more of an honorable mention because there's not a huge high school setting, even though the main characters are in high school. But y'all, I can't wait for volume 7. Like, please, Kodansha, put it up for order. Granted, it'll be digital first, but still, really excited. Love it. Very thankful we were finally getting volume 3. But we can go back to K-Manga news because this was very surprising. Matcha Made in Heaven is now on K-Manga. Yes, Matcha Made in Heaven. That was very unexpected. I have reviewed volume 1 on this channel. You guys voted for it earlier this year because I was looking to read some of my digital backlog, and honestly, we should do a poll like that again sometime because I still have several digital titles that I own but have not read yet. But yeah, it is on there and I would definitely recommend it. I mean, you can check out my first impression of volume 1. I do have volumes 2 and 3, but honestly, knowing it's on K-Manga, I am having more incentive to read further ahead. Even though I loved it, gave it a glowing 5 stars. It's about a young woman. Try to remember the beginning. I remember her fiance's really creepy face. Like, I remember that too vividly for my liking, but basically his family had some weird ideals in my opinion, and they're like, okay, you're gonna leave your job, you're gonna serve your husband, do all these things, and she's like, well, I still want to do these things, and they're like, no, that's not the place of a wife. And I said, oh my goodness. So she ends up leaving. She goes back to the green tea farm that her parents ran, but now it's in the hands, I think, of her brother. And when she goes there, things are seeming okay, but there's a different man who has a little girl living with them in the house I believe she grew up in. She's really surprised and she's not welcomed by him at all, but then her ex-fiance shows up not wanting them to break up, and so he steps in and she tells everybody that they are engaged, like her and this man that she hasn't known for that long, and does have have some beautiful family vibes, or at least what I've seen from other people say, and you can definitely tell it's going that direction. Very, very excited that it's on there. It's a really, really big win, I feel like, for K-Manga. And not just big wins for K-Manga, but Manga Up, they got the Princess Groom. Now, shout out to my friend Bing Queenie because she shared in my server several months ago and was like, hey, read this, everybody and anybody kind of thing. And I decided to check it out because Bing Queenie has recommended plenty of things I've really enjoyed. The Condemned Villainess Goes Back in Time. I have a video review of that. Your Forma also have a video review of that. And I know there's other things that she has also influenced me on in this shoujo series included. And I'm so hoping that we get it physically in English because originally it was available on Manga Plaza. That's where I read it. I read the first 3 chapters. It's about a young woman who comes across as this doll. And she's very cute, she's very petite, she's very pretty, and she doesn't really say much, but she thinks a lot. You see her mom, her parents tell her that she's supposed to go meet her, I believe it's her fiance, and he is known as the Cursed Prince. Like, he's got red eyes and they're like his black hair, which I think was something like superstitious on both accounts, and also he doesn't have a very good reputation. She's like, well, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this by getting to know him and see if these things are real. So her parents are like, please don't say anything you sort of shouldn't, because she may act very petite, but y'all, she got a secret and girl is amazing. Like, she is amazing. That's the non-spoiler version I can give of that, but there's an awesome epic twist that I'm like, this is so cool. This is so cool. I hope that it's a good sign that means some publisher is wanting to pick this up. Maybe Square Enix? I don't know. All we can do is hope. Before we go into 7 Seas and Yen Press, since they were the ones that had licenses last week, there is actually one, and that was Titan Manga. They had their license announcement on Anime News Network, and they licensed the manga of It's a Little Hard to Be a Villainess of an Otome Game in Modern Society. Now, this is not a shoujo. I believe it is a seinen series. I'm pretty excited about this, mainly because it's a villainous series, and I will always at least give that series a fair chance because I love villainous titles, you know? I just love them. And so I'm intrigued about this one. Now, we have the light novel in English by 7 Seas, and what makes this different is when the female lead is in Japan, there is some kind of, I don't think it's a stock market crash, I think it's like a full-blown, the entire economy crashes, and something happens to her. She's reincarnated in this Otome game where she finds out that she is the villainess. She receives like the title of a noble or something, but also things aren't good financially for her now either. And so she's using the memory from her past life to help her and this economy, I guess, improve in this, you know, Otome game. I have heard this is more of a big brain manga because it deals more in depth with actual economics. I feel a little nervous in that regard. I enjoyed what I read on Bootwalker for like the first chapter. The art looked really, really good, and the heroine, or the villainess here I should say, looks really intriguing, and I'm very curious as sort of what is going to come about with this series. I forgot when it's releasing. Oh, next August, and so hoping to tune in because I'm really curious, same as this next one, and that is Slime Saint. Now, I'll be honest, I was not intrigued necessarily about this. It wasn't until I was looking on 7 Seas website on this book page specifically, and I saw the word villainous, and I said, oh, we have a villainess? And the premise seems to be that there is this slime who is looking for a body, and she runs into somebody. The whole volume was free on Bootwalker for a limited time. I don't know if it still is. Hopefully, though, if it is, I'll leave a link down below. And so I was reading it, and she seems to come across some person. I don't know if they're another slime, but they tell her something, and she goes off. She sees this young woman, and when she goes to the young woman, she says, oh, I'm going to take over this body since, you know, unfortunately, she's not alive anymore. And when she does that, she sees into like the memories of this body. The girl is a full-blown villainess. I was like, some of these panels leave me concerned for how really almost torturous that this woman was to her servants. So this slime is in the body, and for my own well-being, I need to change and be nicer. And she's going to try and aim, or I don't think she is a saint, but she's going to aim to be a saint. I'm definitely hoping my budget has enough for this. this because I really enjoyed what I saw of the first volume. It seems very engaging. But yeah, this one I'm very curious about, and Seven Seas did come out and say that this was the last set of announcements that they do have for the year of 2025, and that we should just stay tuned. They will be back, coming out, I'm sure, with so much excitement for all the titles that they'll have next year. Hopefully we'll get some more shoujosei. I feel like we didn't get quite as many this year, but we'll talk more about that in my shoujosei wrap video coming out at the beginning of January. But Yen Press, we see you, buddy. We see you coming out. They really saw the shoujo community. I was so happy with the licenses they had. I felt overall they had a good batch. There were just a few that I personally was excited for. This first one being an audiobook, which I don't listen to audiobooks, but that is The Bubble Love of the Mermaid. This is by the same creator as the light novelist of My Happy Marriage. We did get a physical license of this sometime earlier this year, not very sure when, but we did. It's about a young woman. She's very mistreated at home. She's been living at home. She gets some kind of mark on her wrist, and when she turns 16, she ends up going to, I think, this all-girls academy. They get a new teacher, and she's like, well, I'm gonna stay away from this guy. Not necessarily because I think he's bad news, but I think it's just she is so not confident in herself and feels people would want her that she feels it'd be best for him if she stayed away from him. So definitely for like a negative reason. But I guess something happens. She finds a marriage proposal, I'm assuming by him, in her lap. And I said, oh, the cover is so gorgeous. I think it's a standalone. I'm not actually 100% sure on that. And I just realized that they gave the official cover. So it says 1, so it cannot be a standalone. Sorry, y'all. I didn't even notice at the time that they did the official cover. It's so pretty. I really love what they did with the text font. Once again, Yen Press just coming in clutch as they always do. In this next one, I don't think it's a shoujo, even though Baka Updates said it was, but it does have an anime, and I have always wanted to read this, and that is Skull Face Bookseller Honda-san Complete Omnibus. I have found like a random single volume here or there, never number one. And so knowing that we're getting an omnibus, I thought was really, really exciting. Again, it has an anime, and I have 2 friends that have said glowing things about it. So I am even more intrigued. From the people who have read it, they said it has been good. I believe it's about I didn't even read the blurb. I believe though, it is about, as it says, a skull-faced bookseller. He sells books at a Japanese bookstore, and it's his everyday life of interacting with people and selling books to them, trying to find out-of-print books, trying to find books in general, giving, I'm assuming, suggestions that would fit a customer's needs and all of those things. So I am very much hopeful and definitely wanting to pick it up because I'm so thankful that I have the opportunity to finally read it for the first time. Like, Yen is coming in clutch with giving us these new omnibus editions where I can read these titles for the very first time that I never imagined. But this next one was my license win. I saw it, and it took a second for my brain for it to register, and I was like, is that what I think it is? I'm like, that is what I think it is. And that is, thank you for taking care of our boy Banari. I am overjoyed. As I said in my previous video on Saturday featuring this as one of my most anticipated releases of 2026. Thank you, Yen Press. Thank you. I saw this originally from the manga when she had uploaded chapter 1 on Twitter. I read through it and I loved it. But what really pushed me over is that the female lead drives a motorcycle. I said, done, sold, on the wish list it went, and it's been there ever since. Now, I have since learned a little bit more about it, and I'm still really, really excited. I do think fans of Taemin would enjoy this in the sense of our female lead has stanned this particular actor for a really long time. And something happens where her sister, I guess who was the manager for him, has to, I don't know, she's not there. And so the female lead fills in for her. She's really excited. She's like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be able to meet him up close, be his manager of all things. Like, this is great. And she gets to meet him. And he is nothing like how he presents himself to the public. If he's really kind and very sweet to the public, behind closed doors, he's very mean, very grumpy, and just not very nice in general. And so her world is sort of shattered in a sense that who she thought he was isn't actually who he is. And she's still got to to take care of him as a manager. I'm sold, y'all. I'm sold. And I'm really excited that we got it. It was amazing. Like, truly, thank you so much, Yen Press. I really hope that I enjoy it. I feel like I subconsciously have very high expectations just because even though I don't know anybody who has read this, I have just loved everything this author has provided or this creator has provided and offered to the public. I'm like, yes, I love the art style for this and just, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. The last one that Yen shared that I was really excited about was another shoujo manga I've never heard. And apparently a lot of people said this is a really big win, and that is the timid lady was turned into an ugly cat, but on the verge of fainting is picked up by the most fearsome military dude. Everything about this just shouts, this is a me series. I mean, we've got the cat, we've got the shoujo heroine that has glasses. Shout out my friend Bean Queenie who mentioned it on Twitter, and I said, oh my goodness, she has glasses. How did I not realize that? And then just the long title that I was about to say is an isekai, but I don't believe this is an isekai because from what I've seen and what I saw online for chapter 1 is that she has seems to be a sister. I don't know if she's an adopted sister, but more or less her father married somebody else, had a child. She comes in. It doesn't seem like our female lead was treated badly, but if the sister is the one that's behind, according to the blurb, the sister's the one that cursed our female lead, turning her into an ugly cat, and that cat is not the most attractive cat, I'll be honest. I was like, the title works. The title works. I mean, I know I'm gonna love the cat, but it was just really interesting. The male lead seems really great, gives off that cold demeanor, and I have no doubts has a heart of gold. I was very shocked to find out that unless Baka Updates is telling me wrong because I didn't look further into it, it's only 3 volumes. I'm like, it's only 3 volumes? I mean, which isn't bad. I don't mind it's short, but I really love the cover and how bright it is and how intriguing and interesting this series sounds. Hopefully things will go okay for our main female lead, that she returns back to being a human. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen with this. I genuinely don't, but I'm seated. I feel like the past few Yen licenses, DNN Angel, a prime example that I really didn't know how I would feel. It was on the fence. I've absolutely loved. So I am believing the community when they say this is a big win, and then I am personally going to enjoy it. And last but not least, before we go into the cover reveals, if you have been wanting to read No Roses Without Thorns, this was a series, man. I should have kept my bookmark because I literally saw it this morning before filming this video, that it was picked up 2 years ago. It was picked up the same time as Veil was. Manga Splaining and Udon were teaming up to give us these Veil the series and then No Rose Without Thorns, a standalone manga. I believe it's like an essay shoujo manga. I know it's about a manga shoujo assistant in the 80s or 70s. And I've been really intrigued, and there has been crickets all this time. And I don't know what it was, but Deb, who sort of I feel like is spearheads maybe manga splaining. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but she is one of the top people in manga splaining. But she had some kind of post, and I just kindly tweeted on there that I was hoping, asking, do we have an update for this manga? And then last night before going to bed, yes, she's saying that we should see a release in 2026 because they had some things happen with their distributor, and so now it definitely should be coming, which makes me very hopeful. And I'm just so relieved that we finally have an update because it's just been so incredibly long. And I guess talking about that incredibly long, let's go into those cover reveals. So this first one is a magazine cover reveal because the next issue of Hanatsu Yume, which I believe drops on the 19th, that is going to have the final chapter of Yona of the Dawn. And Yona looks fabulous, amazing, beautiful on this cover. I do know that you get this Hanatsu Yume cover, that you get I think it's an exclusive acrylic stand. And then if you order from, was it Anime Online, I think they have the image that I'm showing here, that they also have just the image of Yona without all the text that's on the Hanatsu Yume issue. Very, very beautiful issue of Hanatsu Yume. She's stunning, and it's hard to believe that that will be the very final chapter of at least the full series. But let's definitely talk about some more hopeful things here and talk about some of these cover reveals. All of them are from Yen/Ice Press, with the first one being Finding Camilla Volume 7. Can't believe we're on Volume 7. I really, really like this cover. I guess that this is the male lead, and I say I guess, I'm not reading it, but it's been interesting seeing other who I thought were male leads on here, and I thought was a love triangle, so maybe it's not, but she looks very, very happy, and I I genuinely hope that she is. The next one from Ice Press is I Tame My Ex-Husband's Mad Dog, and I'm loving this green. I think it is beautiful. Really, really like it, and that is volume 6. I forgot to mention. I don't know what's happening. Can't believe we're 6 volumes in already either, but it's beautiful, beautiful cover. And then going into Yen Press, we have My Happy Marriage, the light novel, volume 9. Really love the softness and the quietness of this cover. Really love like the purples and darker purples here. It's just very, very beautiful. Really like it a lot. And I guess going back to green, I don't know what it is about me and green. I've been digging those covers up whole bunch because April Showers Brings May Flowers, volume 4, we have another green and yellow themed cover, and it is so beautiful. I really feel like this series is releasing slow, which is such a shame because it's just, from what I read in volume 1, was very cute, and I love how this cover looks, and I hope that there's really great things that are happening in that series. And then we have a really exciting shoujo, actually these last 2 are shoujo series, but that's The Failure at God's School volume 3, and I love the fall vibes with this. It's so cute, and I love how our ladies are stealing the show for this cover. I am looking forward to reading this one. It's definitely taking, it feels like a good hot minute, but the last one, In Another World, My Sister Stole My Name, volume 4. Yes, I needed it like yesterday. I needed it like after I finished volume 3 because the cliffhanger was so intense, and it's like, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cover. I absolutely love it so much, and I'm eagerly looking forward to getting this volume, reading it, finding out what happens, and gushing to you guys. And as you can see, there was a lot of gushing, lots of great things, and I'm so excited that we just had a really exciting way to sort of, I think, wrap up the year for license announcements. Let me know, did you guys get any wins from Yen, or maybe not wins, but things you're excited for, or maybe from 7 Seas as well? Let me know down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!